Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful week so far, or at least what is left of it, as it is Friday when I'm filming this video. So today what we're going to do, these are 8 amazing different date night options for fragrances from 8 different houses. And there is a ton from each house that I could have put on here. But what I wanted to do is introduce some fragrances that, one, are not really that, spoken about that often from people, especially larger reviewers online. And I also wanted every fragrance to be unique and have kind of a masculine appeal to each fragrance, or at least a touch of that. And something for date nights, you always want to stand out. You always want to wear something that's going to garner compliments. You don't want to wear anything that's going to be too offensive. But of course, you don't want to choose a fragrance that could be in a similar DNA or maybe be confused with something that the lady has maybe smelled before on like her dad, her brother, or ex-boyfriend. Because you want to talk about turning a woman off, that's a quick way to do it, to smell like her dad or her brother. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get it started from the first house, Boadicea the Victorious, Night of Love. Guys, each house I could have put 10 to 15 different fragrances from each house on here. So I know everyone's going to say, where is this one? Where is that one? Just refrain from that because there is Aqua Sapphire, Blue Sapphire, Hanuman, Amber Sapphire, Dasman, Azrak. I mean, there is so many I could have chose from the house of Boadicea. But Night of Love recently has gotten me so many compliments, and I've only worn this fragrance 3 or 4 times. It's relatively new. But this is just absolutely incredible. Compliments, amazing DNA to the fragrance, unique, long-lasting projection, development. I mean, I just don't know what else you could possibly want in a fragrance. The juniper and the cardamom give it a kind of a spicy, fruity, fresh, approachable vibe. Definitely have a lot of green notes in there. You guys can look up the notes yourself. I'm not going to get too much into the notes of each fragrance, but just kind of give you a brief overview of what the actual vibe is like. But I will say one thing for sure, Night of Love gets a ton of compliments. You got some leather and tobacco in there as well, so it's definitely a masculine vibe in the fragrance. And you guys know Aqua Sapphire, probably my favorite of the entire house of Boadicea that I've tried so far, and this one is certainly up there with it. Again, can't overstate this enough. Women absolutely love this fragrance, and I'll just leave it at that. Great date night fragrance from Boadicea, and there's a lot from that house that you could choose from, but that one for me, just the recent memories of the compliments that I've gotten on that fragrance, and also just the fact that it is unique and it is masculine, just kind of throws it over the top. So, unique luxury, Zen'gi. Now Zen'gi, proper fragrance, guys, proper fragrance. Dress up, date night. A lot of these could be interchanged, but also depends on the kind of the setting of the date. So if it's more casual, maybe you're not necessarily dressing up. But guys, honey, wine, ginger, some spices as well along with that ginger, frankincense, some wood notes. I mean, you got everything in here. Resins, honey, wine, spices. If you've not tried this fragrance from Unique Luxury, you got to get your nose on it. It is absolutely incredible. It's one of those from the house. They make a lot of interesting stuff at Unique Luxury. This is one that I would definitely say, it almost sounds bad to say it because, if you're going for niche, but it does have a little bit of that approachable designer quality while still being very unique and rich, and also being done at 35% oil concentration. It really throws it over the top. So, unbelievable fragrance there. Now from the house of Amouage, so much stuff I could have put on here. King Blue, Silver Oud, Jubilation 40 or 25, Reflection 45 would be amazing for a first date, but you want to smell masculine, unique, have something that really, really projects, something that women seem to absolutely love. It is Amouage Epic, and it's a fragrance that I don't feel gets a lot of love. Maybe not some people's even top 5 or 10 from the house, but I know a lot of people who it is their favorite from the house as well. So it really just depends. I think for me, this is always going to be in my top 5 to top 10 from Amouage. It just garners so much compliments. Very, very good on the projection, longevity, development, masculine, unique, but still approachable. It's kind of like Night of Love to you, where it is unique, but it's also a very approachable DNA. And side note, I don't know what's going on with the green bottles at Boadicea, but you're pretty much safe buying anything in a green bottle from Boadicea. When you look at Faith, Alcif, Night of Love, King of the World, Majestic, Complex 2020, Green Sapphire. I mean, I think I've named a lot of them, but there's a few more. But it seems like anything from Boadicea that comes in a green bottle, you're pretty much safe with. So back to the Amouage. Again, Epic is exactly what the name says. It is epic, and women seem to absolutely love it. So if you have not tried that one from the House of Amouage, just because you haven't heard people speak about it, I would say it's certainly worth a sample. So now from the House of Argos, this is Fall of Phaeton. One of my friends bought this bottle recently as well after going to my house and trying it. Tried all the Argoses. This was his favorite, and I didn't put any type of input. I just kind of let him smell the fragrances. And he basically chose what I chose, because if you pay attention to my Argos videos, when I did a ranking one a while ago, Fall of Phaeton was my number one, and I can't really say that's changed, even though the new releases were very good. But Fall of Phaeton, the spices, like the cardamom, you get some lemon in the top notes, like some bright citrus notes, agar wood, I think there's some light florals in here, but it's not at all a floral fragrance. You know, it's kind of creamy, powdery, woody, spicy, citrus. You really get three different fragrances when you spray this on skin between the top, middle, and base notes. And the base notes for me is what really set this fragrance over the top. You got leather, tonka, vanilla, musk, and of course that agar wood, which is technically a mid note, but that kind of stays throughout the entire fragrance. Absolutely incredible stuff. So from the House of Orto Parisi, another fragrance I don't hear spoken about a lot, but that is absolutely incredible. Especially women seem to love this. This is Terroni. Terroni is supposed to kind of replicate a foothills of a volcano in Italy. I believe it's Mount Vesuvius. That may not be correct, but I believe that's what I remember reading. And they got it right, guys. You got some raspberry in there, but it's not sweet or syrupy. It's very close to being on the bitter side of raspberry, which I like. But you get a nice, ashy, strong, and earthy wood note in here. Definitely some Gaiac wood. I don't know all the ingredients because Terroni kind of keeps that close to the vest. Or Orto Parisi keeps that a little bit close to the vest. But you can definitely get that there's some wood in here. Maybe some oud, but they may be getting that smoky accord through like some cedar, Gaiac, and incense. So who knows kind of what they're doing over there. But whatever they're doing with Terroni, they're doing it the right way, because women really seem to love that fragrance. 20% oil concentration. Women seem to love it. It does have good projection. Longevity for 20% oil. Kind of like the Bond 9s. A lot of the Bond 9s are between 20 to 25% for the eau de parfums. And much like Bond number 9, the Orto Parisi at 20% lasts an incredibly long time. So they're doing a good job with the natural materials and the aroma chemicals, blending it, making sure everything's quality. Because this fragrance does last and project almost like a pure parfum. So it's very, very good. And huge fan of Terroni. Shout out to, I believe it was Junbu, that ended up introducing me and recommending that to me, because that is an incredible fragrance that women seem to love. So next up, from the House of Xerjoff, we have Tony Iommi Monkey Special. Got a really good deal on this 50 ml bottle, and I like it so much I probably will end up buying a 100 ml bottle eventually. So Tony Iommi Monkey Special, guys, this is a very, very sweet fragrance. So if you're sensitive to sweet fragrances, it may not be for you, but you got rum, passion fruit. I believe it's got some caramel notes at the base as well. Has some wood notes. I mean, it's not really even boozy because of the rum. The rum adds a little bit of, like, to me, some wood and baking spice and sugarcane notes to it, along with that passion fruit. But this fragrance is very approachable, very oriented towards compliments. It's also very tropical in nature to me, with the caramel, rum, and passion fruit. So it's one of those fragrances that the DNA itself is going to lend itself very well to compliments. And again, as we're doing a date night video here in terms of fragrances, women absolutely love that one. So Bond number 9. Again, there's so much stuff I could have put from every single house. Dubai Gold. Dubai Gold is obviously my favorite from the house. You guys already know that, along with Riverside Drive. But there's just so many fragrances you could pick from Bond number 9 for date nights. I mean, Indigo is incredible as well, from the Dubai series. New Harlem, women absolutely love that on men. Women love wearing it. There's just so many things. New York Nights is this very sexy fragrance, date night fragrance, like a marine gourmand. Centerpiece for him, the regular centerpiece, Saks Fifth for him. I could go on forever. But the reason I've chosen Riverside Drive is because not only do I still continue to get compliments to this day, I think I told you guys a long time ago, my ex-girlfriend, when I lived down in South Florida, I had all the Creeds and the Bonds and all that stuff of everything that I had in my collection, which even back then I had a pretty decent collection. You know, I probably had about 20 to 30 bottles, which I think for being a younger college kid, having that much high-end stuff was pretty good. But regardless of what was in my collection back then, between the Creed, Green Irish Tweed, Imperial Milleslein, Original Santel, Original Vetiver, I had a bunch of different Bond 9s as well. But long story short, she would always request Riverside Drive when we went out on a date. And even though I'm still not with the same woman, I still get the same requests. Whenever we go out on a date, it seems like this is one of the most requested fragrances. So, Bond number 9, Riverside Drive, I don't see it spoken about that much. It is a re-release. I have the original, which is about half full, half empty. I'm a half full kind of guy, so I like to think that it's a little bit above the middle, even though I think it's now just slightly below. But the new one is just as good, if not better, than the old one. You know, you get that pineapple, rose, lily of the valley. What really sets this fragrance apart and what makes it special is that it is light, but it's powerful. It's something that lasts a long time and projects, even though it does sit a little bit closer to skin after 6 hours. But the base notes, I believe it's the oak moss, patchouli, and sandalwood, really give this a masculine, long-lasting edge to the fragrance. And then, of course, you have the basil, pineapple, water fruit, rose, lily of the valley. Just gives this an unbelievable blue-green type of DNA. Very modern, but also classic, a little bit like Novu Bowery, to where it smells like something, you know, maybe your dad or your grandpa used to wear, but they kind of tweaked it a little bit for compliments and to modernize it. This stuff is just absolutely incredible. And once again, theme for this video, women absolutely love it. So, from the house of Roja Parfums, this is Sweetie Aoud. Tons of stuff I could have put in from Roja. I mean, Oceana, Amber Oud, Roja Oud, Diaghilev, Isola Blue. There's just a ton of stuff from this house. I will be buying more from Roja Parfums this year. I've been getting into Boadicea. I took a little bit too deep of a dive there, so we will be getting into Roja Parfums a little bit more this year as well. But Sweetie Aoud, guys, it's like pastry, frankincense, wood notes. It's sweet and gourmand without being overly sweet, if that makes any sense. It's not one of those fragrances to where like you're going to smell it and you're going to instantly think a gourmand bomb. It's one of those fragrances that has some very, very unique characteristics in terms of just how it smells. You know, usually with gourmand fragrances, you get tons of chocolate or, you know, like Mashimaro from Unique Luxury, which is another one of my favorite ones, marshmallow, caramel, incense. This is a little bit different of a gourmand. This is a little bit more mysterious. Fresh baked croissants is kind of something that I get from that. Maybe a little bit of honey on top of those croissants as well. A lot of unique notes in this. You guys got to look up the notes and see if it's for you. But I know for a lot of people, this is, you know, people that have larger collections of Roja, you know, 20, 30 bottles. A lot of people have this in their top 5 of the house, and I can see why. And uniquely enough, same friend that came over and bought phaeton from Argos, this was also one of his first purchases after trying everything in my collection. He bought Wall Street and Roja Parfums Sweetie Aoud first after trying, like, you know, probably 50 to 60 different things in my collection. Didn't get through the whole one yet, and it seems like every time I see him I have new stuff. So good for him if he likes spending money. Good for me to introduce him to some new stuff, but it seems like every time he comes over he's buying 2 or 3 new bottles of perfume or cologne because he gets to try all that stuff. And yeah, for him, my house kind of seems like a department store probably, so doesn't even have to drive to the mall. You can just come over to my place. So hope this list helped you guys out. These are definitely some very good date night fragrance options. from 8 different houses, which I don't really see spoken about that much. So if you're looking to stand out, smell great, and have something that is truly going to impress on the first date, these are some great fragrances to do it. If you guys were hoping for a panty dropper video, sorry, I don't do that. It's one of those things to where I'm sure it's kind of an unwritten, and people already understand this, but if a girl's not into you, it doesn't really matter what perfume or cologne you're going to wear. You know, she's just not into you. Now, if you speak well, you work out, you take care of yourself, you do the right things, and a woman is already attracted to you, and you go out on a date and you show up smelling like one of these fragrances, yes, that will probably set some things over the top and set some things in motion. But I just feel there's a lot of these attention-grabbing fake titles, and it's interesting because when YouTube was first done, you wanted to read the title of the video, click it, and get exactly what the title of that video said. So that's really what I'm trying to do to my channel, is just get back. This whole channel is kind of revolving around getting back to that, you know, whatever the title says, no fluff, no long intros, none of that stuff. You know, you read the title, you expect to have some sort of information and kind of reach a goal by the end of the video, and that's what this is here for. So hope you guys are enjoying it. Got a lot more stuff coming from the channel. I just got Valiant and Azrak from Boadicea as well. I have reviews coming on those. I have Dubai Emerald coming from bond number 9, and that is the last one that I needed in my collection for the standard Dubai release. So now I can do a video on the complete Dubai series from bond number 9. So again, yeah, got a lot more stuff coming for you guys, and I'll see you soon.